Hi guys, and welcome back to another Trafford Talk Community podcast. How you doing, Natalie? I'm happy to be joined with you.
Hi, Robbie. Thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it. Just talking about football.
Yeah, and that is exactly what we're going to be talking about. We're going to be talking about the men's football and the women's football, which usually, as you guys know, I don't do much. I watch it on and off on the odd occasion, but I mean we've got the experts sitting in front of me right here, and hopefully you guys will enjoy. So first of all, what I want to talk about is just open up to you, Natalie. I just want to hear kind of how the women are getting on just now, because I mean I have heard they're doing well with the new signings coming in, and I just always like to hear your views, just kind of overall a wee summary for the people,
Yeah.
whoever wants to listen.
So yeah.
Yeah, just to take
Listen, I was like you, Robbie. I don't watch women's football. I mean, obviously I do now. I'm like the leader of Barmy Army. It's the main supporters club. But before we had a team, Man United, I wasn't really interested. And I think
yeah,
since Manchester United came involved, I think it's just an extra thing to do, an extra team to watch, an extra team to support. And when we were watching them, and obviously now we can't, but even now we can't, it's absolutely fantastic. It's end to end, it's pressing, high press, exciting, attacking football, wingers. You know, we've got a player who's just won player of the month. She's called Leah Galton. She scored 2 screamers, and you know, it's like Ryan Giggs on the left. That's how I describe it. You know, and it's girls that would just do anything. Like Tobin, I've got her on my t-shirt here. She's one of the American girls, and I'm sure a lot of people saw because it sort of went viral, that rocket that she scored for City and the way she celebrated and kissing the badge. And you know, I think that's what sort of got me into the women, is that they were so passionate about it. They were so grateful. They're so thankful that people come and support them. You know, they're playing for such a big club like Man United, and you know, it's going well. We lost on Sunday, but it's like the first defeat in a year for the girls, and the second, well, joint top, but second on goal difference. And you know, it's a long way to go in the season. One defeat isn't going to define them. You know, they're pushing. Top 3 is Champions League in the women's league. So that's our aim at the start of the season, was to get into Champions League. I mean, anything above that, considering it's only like 2.5 years old, coming on to 3 years old, to just be straight into the Champions League, it would be amazing, and playing some big teams.
yeah, and that is exactly what I was going to talk about. The fact that, I mean, it's just a new team, the United Women's, and to be honest, I'm going to say it. I think it's pretty shocking the fact there wasn't a women's team in the first place, because for years ago. Because I mean, you look elsewhere, Arsenal, Chelsea, everywhere really have a women's team apart from us. And for probably the biggest team in the world, I deem United as the biggest team in the world, they not have a women's team. How backwards is that? For the talent we've got out there, the players we brought in, for the women's team, it is mental the fact that it's only happened in the last 2 to 3 years.
Yeah.
And as you say, that it's great to see the fact that they're actually doing well, they're thriving. I mean, I know some of the players. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not an expert, but good to see that they're doing well. And I mean, a way that I saw that we were doing well is someone that's on your top just now. I mean, the ones from America, they're coming over. They're doing better than the actual United men's players for the shirt sales. I mean, they're absolutely blowing it with that one. They're doing amazing.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you touched on us not having a team, and as a person who is just solely focused, and that is still so much self-focus in a way, you know, Manchester United, you just think of your own thing, you think of your own bubble, you know, our own fans, this is what matters to us. And that's probably why I didn't watch women's football before. But now you look at it after the fact, I mean, there's players that used to come, we developed, who are playing for senior sides now in the Lioness, and they're not playing for us because we had to let them go when they were 16. And so there's some real top talent there that we've unfortunately lost, but a lot of the girls will come back. Katie Zellum is the captain. She used to play for us. Millie Turner's playing for England Lioness. Ella Toon. These are some of the players that have now left Man United, come back, and are now back in the England senior team. So it is good. But like you say, Tobin, Kristen Press, they have names bigger than, even Alex Morgan, who came to Spurs. Her name is bigger than Spurs. So when people say, "Oh, I don't care about the women," the women don't matter. No. These women now, Tobin is absolutely different class, and like you say, the shirt sales just show it. She's endeared herself to United fans through scoring a goal at City and kissing the badge, saying Manchester's red. But that's the stuff, that's the passion that you want to see from your players. You want your players to go out there and it mean everything to them. And Tobin Heath is just one who, I wasn't even that. I was more excited for Kristen Press, the second one. And Tobin is just, boom. I love Man United. I love Premier League football. This is like a dream come true. A picture is of her at Old Trafford, and COVID. Unfortunately, I know we're going to get onto it, but we've not been able to. Fans haven't been able to real go and see her, and that's what I would say from this. Anyone who goes Old Trafford regularly, and person who goes Old Trafford regularly, come down to LSV. Hopefully the girls can get into Old Trafford and have a game there, because I think a lot of people are interested, like yourself, Robbie, you said to me, I don't know a lot of names. It doesn't matter. And that's the thing that I love about it as well. Sometimes people are like, with the men's team now, like, you've not been going this, you've not done that. To me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how long you've been watching the women. It doesn't matter how long you've been supporting. It doesn't matter how many names you know. It's just about going there, watching it, seeing how you like it. Come again, don't come again. We'll just give it that one try. That's what I think. And that's what I did, and I love it, and I'm addicted to it.
Yeah, that's great. I mean, I wish more people did do that. Obviously, I live in Glasgow, Scotland, so a bit harder for me to get to games. Yes, I do make my way down to games, but I mean, women's games, I think definitely people should be looking into it. I mean, I'm pretty sure you get the games for free, if I'm correct in saying, online.
Yeah,
as well.
It's an app called the FA Player, so you can just watch it online for free.
Yeah, in that app, I mean, imagine there was an app like that for the men's game, and that also talks about money, and I want to get into that point as well, money, and I mean, the way that men get paid compared to women is completely different. But even in that aspect, when we talk about TV deals, I mean, the women game isn't even like, obviously, World Cup, things like that. But talking about Manchester United, they're not even on TV yet, really. They're on, as you said, that app, which is very behind. And United definitely need to be working very hard and with the FA to push the women's game. They need to push players. I mean, look at the players in the league just now. Like, basically the full Man United team, to be honest. I know most of the names, and they're big names. And whenever you bring in players from America, they're obviously going to get a lot more publicity for the fact that it's bigger in America. Let's be honest, the women's football, I'm not saying it's dead over here, but it's nowhere near the size of America. And it's a shame, and I hope United board and United owners, they back the women's team as well, because they do deserve it. I mean, it's only been running for 3 years. Looks like they're getting off to a good start. So I just want to know, are you optimistic for the season ahead? Do you think, well, do you think we can maybe win the league? I mean, I know you said obviously about the Champions League, or do you think, I mean, see the guys I'm on with, I'm saying it, they're pessimistic, the guys I'm on with, because we were sitting talking, and we've got a group chat where we kind of talk about who's doing what, and they were like, oh, we've got a draw, that's okay, we'll go on, do the review. And I'm like, that's not okay. We're Manchester United, and so are the women. They're Manchester United as well. They've got the badge on. They should be blessed to wear that shirt. So I just want to know whether you're optimistic or pessimistic for the season ahead. I mean, you kind of know my views.
I'm always optimistic, but I'm optimistic for the boys as well. I'm Ollie supporter, and I know people might have heard her name, but Casey Stoney, so our manager, and she's changed. She's changed the way I think about it. She reminds me of Alex Ferguson, the way she talks. This is Man United. We should be winning trophies, got knocked out of the League Cup for the women's side, and she was like, "It's not good enough. Doesn't matter if we're sitting top. This team should win trophies. You don't win trophies in January sitting top." And unfortunately, we just got beat by Chelsea, and it was a Route One ball over the top. The defender let the player run. Millie Turner let the player run, and she scored. And after the game, I've never seen Casey Stoney like that. Maybe in the first year she would have let them off a bit, and we're just a new team, we're just building. Second year, it was our first year in the WSL. She didn't say as much, but she came out and just says, "This is not good enough. This is not the standard." And I think it's refreshing to hear people say. I know some people get really frustrated at Ollie because he doesn't come out and say what he says, but for me, I think the fact that he said after the Liverpool game, a draw's not good enough, we should have won here and all this, that is a change in mentality. It's a change in the way of thinking. It's a change in the way we're feeling. For me, I feel like both managers, Ollie and Casey, probably don't think they're going to win the league. Not like pessimistic, but realistic. But they're aiming for it. They're going for it. And that's all we want, isn't it, really? I mean, I would love it. I would love it. Even you, Robbie, you could come down. Hopefully in May everything's normal and just see the bus with the trophy. That's what keeps me going. And if the girls had another bus by the side, it would finish me. I'd be so happy. I'd be so proud. And I know that's what they're fighting for. And I think in a way as well, that's what the lads are fighting for, because they want us to be happy. And if you ever come and watch women's football, anyone, you can go up to them at the end. And I know it sounds really weird, because I remember my first match, I went up to a player and I was like, they were signing autographs, and I just thought it was normal. I just said hi, and they were like, "Oh, hi, I heard you singing." And I'm thinking, what? It's so strange, like the relationship. And a couple of games later, they were like, "Oh, you need to keep singing those songs and all this." And I'm thinking, right, it's just strange. But then you do hear the lads saying, "Oh, it gives us that extra percent." But just because they're women doesn't mean they don't like thrive off the fans. Don't mean they don't miss the fans just as much. It gives them that extra energy. And I think that's how it all sort of started for me, is that they were like, "Oh my God, we love it. We love your support." And I just think when a group of people value you, it just drew me to it easily, Robbie. And, I still love the guys. I've traveled all around Europe watching the men's team. Unfortunately, we can't do that anymore, but, I'll be back at it hopefully when it's normal. But, the girls to me are just special because, you have that direct chat with them. You can tell if they're upset. You can see them working even harder for it. And I know they're working hard to be top, to make us happy at the end. And that's football, isn't it? You play it for the fans, and that's what they're doing.
Yeah, you're a true United fan. You're definitely involved everywhere, and obviously need to credit you for your work that you do at Barmy Army. You're the owner of it, and you're doing a great job over there. The women's game has grown over here, and everyone needs to remember that. That is basically why I've got you on today, because we don't have a voice for women. And I have been trying to text like a few different United women to kind of get their views and try and get them on. And I'm just grateful the fact you've actually managed to come on and we can just sit down and talk about it, because this channel, we did say this right on day one, we are open for anyone and everyone to come on. It's a fan channel where we sit down with genuine United fans, sit, talk, and just disagree. I'm not even gonna lie, we don't agree, we just disagree the full time. To be honest, I think we got on okay, but some of the guys we've been on with have been questionable and hard to kind of go on the same wavelength as them. But yeah, I'm going to move on, as we spoke about briefly earlier on, the fact that COVID just now, it's affecting everyone. I hope everyone's safe just now out there. It's rife. Vaccines coming along. My gran's getting the vaccine. I'm happy about that. But it's rife just now, and it doesn't just affect us. It also affects businesses and football clubs, as we all know. I just want to hear, what do you think the impact would be towards the United women's team? Because I can't imagine it will be too great, because you've seen reduced budgets for the men's team, so I can only imagine what the women's team would be like as well.
Yeah, I mean, with women's football, what happens, a lot of transfers, I think it's something like 92% of transfers are free transfers. So, it's in that respect, I don't think it's hurting us majorly. Like, for example, it might do the men, there's not even millions of pounds involved, in the whole of last year, it was like £1 million for the whole of women's football. That was transfer for everyone.
Right.
So, and I know that's people might laugh or people might think, oh, you see this. No, that's increase. That's it going up. Less transfers are being done for free. There's someone just moved today from Everton to Leon. Leon, one of the best teams in the world. They paid big transfer fees, and that was £100,000. And she's just signed for Everton, and they've just paid a transfer fee. But that's significant in a way for the women's game. And it's like what you say. We've gone from looking at an app, now let's get a TV deal. Now let's do this. I know there is talk, and people are saying, you'll get people who don't want it, but that Sky are going to pay some money for it. And I think, if they put some money behind it, I mean, the way I say to people is, don't look at it now where the Premier League is. Look at it was, say, in the 90s, just before it started, in the 80s, when it was Division 1. That's where you need to look and think, if you start putting money in, this is going to happen. And the only thing that would worry me with Man United, I suppose, is, are they still going to invest? And I think they will, because they've seen things through getting someone like Toby and getting press, I know they're trying to put more games on MUTV, make it easier for fans. And I think they're getting a really good traction there. I know they're doing more podcasts with Man United players, and I think it is going up, but I think you have to put money in without having money back, if you get what I mean. I know that with us, 82% or 72% of our income comes from commercial. And obviously that is really important for, I think with anything, with Man United, it's going to sell in a way, The only thing I worry is that they don't, put effort into getting people into the ground. And I mean, I know, people will come, make it easy. Make someone like you, Robbie, if you came from Scotland, make sure that on the Saturday, if you're going to Old Trafford, that bang, Sunday, and this is how you're going to get to Lee, this is how you're going to go and watch the women. You know what I mean? Because if they made it simple and easy for people to, get to watch the women, I think people will go, because it's only £5. If you go to a game, if you actually go on the day, you pay £5 and you watch a good game of football and you're speaking to the players after. A season ticket is probably the same price as one ticket. I think a season ticket's £40.
That's actually quite funny, because I mean, my local team is Airdrieonians. You probably have never heard them in your life. It's a Scottish team just outside of Glasgow, and it's £7 for a child to get in, and they're in the 3rd division of Scottish football. And you look at that and you think, wow, that's overpriced. But then you go to the adults and it's £17 for a ticket to get a 3rd division Scottish team game. Like, I mean, I've been trying my best to kind of shave my stubble and get in for free. If Man United weren't playing, I'd like to go down and just have a chat with my pals, go and try and get in for the £7 for the under 16s. But I mean, it's hard. £17 for an average person to go to every game. It's crazy, and that's not even talking about Manchester United men's.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think Germany do that well, where they like to keep the prices low and fill the stadiums, pack them, great atmosphere. But then you look at the women's game and you think £5 for a ticket. I mean, you'd spend that, but with £5 get it's worth it probably, and hopefully fans do come down. But I'll promise you this, Natalie, I'll come down if the women win the league this year, right? I'll come down and I'll celebrate. Hopefully they'll do an open top bus, whatever they do. I mean, I know the men obviously do that, but I don't know about the women. But I'll come down for that. If there's a party afterwards, I'll come. Definitely.
I mean, for me as well, it's about, like you said, it's £5. It's easy. It's coming down, and like you say, it's other teams around you. you don't get that. But this is Manchester United, and I think if there are fans of Manchester United, why wouldn't you want to go and see it? Why wouldn't you want to experience it? And I'll tell you, Robbie, and I don't know how long you've been watching it. You said you've watched a couple, but if it is this year, the thing.
Yeah, what's the fear?
I don't know if you've ever seen, like you've mentioned, the Barmy Army. It is the same. It's the same. We're singing the same songs. You know, we're singing Casey's at the Wheel. We're singing all the time. We're shouting. You know, it's not. Some people think you go to women's games and yes, there's more kids and this and that, but you can still have a good time. It's still an atmosphere, and that's what we want to build, a really good atmosphere. I don't know if you've seen them, but now there's no fans, but we've still got all the flags behind the goal when they play at home, and you know.
I did actually see that, I think, and it was one of the most recent games I watched. I'm not going to lie. I'm not lying to you, honestly. I don't watch a lot of them, but I'm sure it was like an FA Cup game, and it was against Chelsea. I'm sure they lost 1-0.
Oh, there was one last year. So was it last year?
Yeah, it might have been.
Yeah, that was one. Was the fans in the stadium?
I don't know. I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
I watched it on the app. But then I realised it was on MUTV. I mean, I know a lot of fans don't like getting MUTV, but I wouldn't cancel that, to be honest. I think it's great, the fact that you managed to get the previews, reviews. I mean, also for someone my age, I mean, I'm 19 just now. It's also good to kind of listen to some of the older guys talking and some of just the older United kind of members who are always on United TV. And I wouldn't delete it. I wouldn't delete my membership. Yes, it burns a hole in my pocket. The fact I've got the fact I've got BT, Sky, and my United TV as well. But I mean, you need to remember, women's football actually isn't on Sky or BT, which personally I think there should be some drive towards that, and it would probably push me to watch more games if it was on the TV, because I mean, whenever I'm not busy, I just sit and flick through the sports channels to see if I can find something. And Adrian Fernandez is commented here saying women's football should get the same amount of love as the men's. And yes, it's true. The fact that, I mean, women, why not? It's a new team. Everyone should get behind it. I don't see why not. But, I mean, that's the first half of the podcast done. I mean, you come from Natalie's side, the Barmy Army, you'll probably log off by now and I'll just be talking absolute crap for the rest of the time. But I quite like to talk about the men's football because, I mean, personally, I'm optimistic for the season ahead. And did I ever think we'd be in a title race for this year? Not a chance in hell did I think that was going to be the case. So I'd just like to hear your views about the season so far. Like, what do you think of it? Because I know, obviously, you watch the United men's as well.
I think we're doing better than expected. I'm like you. I didn't think we'd ever be there. I mean, the way we started was absolutely horrendous. Losing to Crystal Palace, then the Spurs game. I thought, God, here we go again. I thought the end of last season, when we got the third, I thought, let's kick on from here. And I was sort of thinking, go back him, go get him the players he wants. And I just think the way it all started, I mean, I know it's COVID, but the way it sort of everything was rushed through, I wasn't even a mad fan of Cavani, you know what I'm saying? I was like, what's this? It's a panic buy and all this. But he's coming, he's done it, he's building it slowly. And I think that's my fault. I should have trusted more in Ollie, and I've always trusted in Ollie. I mean, he's a great, great, great guy. And I've met him a couple of times. He's just a living legend. He's so humble, he's so grateful. But for me, what he's doing is he's putting in that Man United DNA, and I think we've not had it for a while. We've not had that great determination. Never say die, fight till the end. Because for me, watching that Liverpool game, even though it was, not the best, and yes, we should have won. And if you look at that last 10 minutes, that was like Man United. That was like, I feel like if fans would have been behind that goal, they would have sucked the ball in. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I mean, we didn't.
It was frustrating, and I kind of want to just move on from that game. I mean, a draw on paper looks good, but we should have won. Yeah, I need to agree with you on that. The fans being in the stadium, I think that was actually towards the Kop, so I wouldn't have been too good. But as you said about Cavani though, I mean, I was so angry whenever we signed Cavani. I thought it was like a last minute. It was a last minute panic buy because we didn't get anyone that we wanted. And actually, I was comparing it with Radamel Falcao, which was crazy looking on it just now because Cavani is amazing. I mean, I love Cavani. I think he should be starting every game. He's better than Anthony Martial. He's probably better than Rashford up front as well. He just gives something different which we don't have. He's a born goal scorer. He can basically do everything. Let's be real. He's good on the ball as well. Hold up plays fantastic. But I mean, we've got the Fulham game tonight. I mean, my guy, he was on with me. So guys, if you're on a loose end and you don't know what to do tonight before the game, I mean, it's a late kickoff. You can obviously go on and watch the match preview. I mean, we sat for about half an hour and just discussed the team lineup, disagreed on it, score predictions, disagreed on that as well. Everything, yeah. So I mean, I'm looking forward to the season ahead. I mean, I don't want to obviously talk about the Fulham game too much, but I mean, I hope everyone enjoys it, and I hope it's a successful one because I mean, I don't want to be going to bed tonight crying because that's what
the way I see it now. We'll beat Fulham. I mean, I know it sounds dead, and I get people are now like in a mood where they're like, "Oh, well, what United are going to turn up?" But for me, we'll beat Fulham. I mean, it's well, we should do, but I can't see us not beating them. I mean, it might come back and haunt me, and people might take this, but we'll beat them. You know, and I just think it's where we're at. Just keep winning our games, focus on ourselves. Keep improving because I think for me, Solskjaer has worked miracles in a way, and I don't know what your side of the camp you're on.
Oh, no, yeah, I absolutely love Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. I think he's great.
I think you know, yeah, he's made mistakes. Everyone's made mistakes. He's growing as a manager. He's a young manager. Yeah, he's been in Norway before, but I think that's helped him a bit, you know. And I think things that he's doing with Luke Shaw looks amazing. Pogba's come back, looks amazing.
Yeah, how good they look. Fantastic. Those two players, amazing. I mean,
and like you said, we said about Cavani. You know, I wasn't happy about Cavani. You were unhappy about it, but then he's taken the words out of our mouth. He's made us eat our words, and we all love him now. And I just think
we've got how long? I mean, we had 18 months plus maybe to sign Cavani on a free, and it took us to the last day of the 18 months to sign him. I mean, yes, Ed Woodward, I don't love him. I'm not going to lie to you, but he also doesn't deserve his house to get attacked. Like, the guy isn't doing a great job. He's not a football man. We need someone else in. But from what we've got just now and from how we're playing, I cannot complain at all. And I'm pretty sure you can't either.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone thought, Ole's going to get sacked after this Everton game if we lose. Absolutely destroyed Everton. I mean, we just looked better than them. I know they did score, but we just looked better than them. And I think that is a sign of a good manager, the fact that he's got all this pressure on him, he doesn't crumble. Frank Lampard, for example, he's got all this pressure on him, crumbles. I mean, the amount of money he spent, Frank Lampard, and it's not working, compared to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, who has, I mean, I'm not saying he spent hardly any money, but he's not got the players he wanted at all. And on what I would call limited resources, because we've got players like Phil Jones, Marcos Rojo, etc., still in the team, still kind of warming the physio bench, and he's doing a great job for the fact that, I mean, we need to offload these players to bring in wages, and as I said, it's as we said previously about the women's game. Just now is obviously a very tough time, and we can't just spend 100 million and that's it, gone. We need to offload players on high wages. As I said, like these guys, Jesse Lingard as well, it's another name. And because we're just better. We've moved on from that time. And I'm hopeful for the season ahead, and I hope everyone else involved can agree with me, because I mean, we're in the best position we've been for years, and I feel way more optimistic than what I have been for years as well. I mean, when all this is going on, I wish there was fans. I wish we could get involved. It's annoying. annoying times. I'm pretty sure you can agree with me on that one.
100%. I wish I was in stadiums. It's not the same when you're not there. I mean, it is, and I'm enjoying riding this wave with both teams, men and women. But it's just the feeling that you get when you're in a stadium. You know, whether it's Lee when it's a couple of thousand, or it's 75,000. The raw when the ball goes in the net, even if it's an away game, it's just does something different. And
yeah, it's different.
When I'm celebrating watching at home, I'm so bloody happy. But it's just the hairs stand up when you're with all them fans, and I just think, like you say, like I've sort of said, the fans do something to the players do something to the fans, and we all lift each other, and we all, fighting for each other, I suppose. And I think that's what I would want. I get people who say this and that about, Ollie, yeah, he has made mistakes, but I think we're in the best position for me in a long time. I sat through Moyes, Louis van Gaal, Jose even, and I think Jose is a good coach, and I think that bit went wrong for whatever reason, and let's not get into it today. But for me, Ollie is the best that I've seen us for since Fergie, and like you say, he's building these players, and I think he is sort of slowly moving people like, he's moved on Smalling, he's moved on some others, so he is slowly moving them on. But like you say, they're on high wages. Who's going to take people like Rojo and all this?
No one wants them.
Phil Jones, no one wants them. So you're going to have to just let them go for free, but then you're losing money, and money means everything to our owners, unfortunately. And in a pandemic, it's going to mean even more, because it's hard to get it. So for people who always love money and they're probably not getting what they used to, they're going to want to keep as much money as they can.
Yes, I'm going to finish off with one last question just before you go. I just want to hear, what's your favourite stadium to go to? I mean, as you said, you're a supporter, you've been everywhere. I mean, for me, St James's Park, I think it's different. You're dead high, you're high up in the sky almost, looking down. Yeah. I just want to hear what's your favourite. Just a wee quick overview. I know it's obviously quite a difficult one because you've been to so many, but if you'd even narrow it down.
It's because of the games, isn't it? Yeah. But I loved the Parc de Paris. I was at that game, when Rashford scored his penalty and we won. Oh, I like that one because it's nice.
Were you there at that game?
Yeah, I was in that stadium.
Wow. And I don't know what you felt like, but I was literally screaming the house down, and this was like, and I'm in like Scotland, obviously, as you know. And my window was open, and I swear there was people like shouting as well, and that's in Scotland.
Yeah,
I can only imagine what it would be like in Manchester. I mean, I've got family in Manchester, and I could only imagine what it would be like for them as well, the season ticket holders. So it was amazing night. Probably one of the best nights for a while since post Alex. I mean,
yeah, definitely. And it's a shame that is but it is. And I mean, I went to the Stockholm. That was a nice stadium, but it wasn't one of my favourites. But that was a really good, European away, actually winning a cup, and it was good to be there and see that. But I also like Juventus Stadium. I don't even know what it's called, to be honest. But I was there, when Mata scored, and
Jose Mourinho's.
Yeah, Jose Mourinho did all this. That was a really good night as well. So I'd say, but then I'd say for the women, if I'm going to say women's stadiums, Arsenal Stadium. So if anyone's ever been like London or anyone watched down south, it's Boreham Wood. That is a proper little, and that's the thing for women. It's all like little, and you're all on terraces, and it's real throwback. So, I do love a few stadiums, and obviously, but nothing's like home, is it? And I think that's
absolutely nothing's like Old Trafford. And
my fave.
I mean, another good stadium we're going to tonight, Craven Cottage. I mean, in London. Hope we get the win. I'm just going to log off just now, Natalie. It's been great.
Thank you for having me on.
You're always welcome to come on any reviews, previews. I mean, I know you've got your own thing, but if you ever want to come on, you're more than welcome. And that goes for everyone involved, everyone that's watching. you guys are welcome on previews, reviews. That's mainly what we do. I mean, I just run this series as well myself, just to get some United fans on that are genuine, just want to sit down and have a nice chat just for a wee half an hour. So just before you go, guys, it'd be great if you could just follow all our socials under Natalie there, and yeah, obviously like and subscribe. So thanks, guys, and thanks, Natalie, for coming on.
Thanks a lot.